This is an old Tecumseh Peerless hydrostatic drive out of a Craftsman mower or a Murray. And this particular one had my interest in that it also was four-wheel steering. So this rear axle had this interesting gizmo on the end to steer the back tires. So I thought, okay, well that could be fun for a toy or modify for something else. I don't know. But maybe I'll just use it for a cart for running around the yard. But anyway, I pulled the hydrostatic motor or the drive out, and it just fits up into here in that slot, and a couple of bolts to tie it to that frame. And it comes apart in half with a little persuasion. This is the actual motor. It came out with a couple of bolts, and over here is the pump. Everything seems to be in really good shape, including the bushings for the selector for speed selection. Like, it looks like there's just no wear on anything. I'm sure it's got a few hours on it. I mean, it's probably a 2000 or something model, and this is 2019. Anyway, the problem I was having is the pulley goes on here, and this shaft was spinning and making an awful racket, but nothing was happening. So I pulled the belt off, and it just spun by hand. And I thought, well, that's really weird. So once I pulled the hydrostatic out of the tractor and played around with it a bit, I realized that the shaft is supposed to be out here. And I'm going like, well, what the hey is going on? Is there supposed to be some kind of collar on there or retainer on the inside? So I thought, okay, let's pull her apart. So we pulled her apart, and lo and behold, I found this, which is the wrong style of clip. And it's all bent, as you can tell. Where's that focus? There it is. It's bent and twisted because it didn't belong there. Because it's supposed to fit down in here in that little groove. Now I couldn't find the right part. I went all over the place. And of course, this being an old gizmo, and I'm not going to order parts online or whatever. They probably don't even have them. They don't even have a catalog or a parts catalog for these old machines. So I just took another one of these. It was brand new, and I just ground the top edge off so that it fits down there nicely in that slotted area. And then over top fits this little thrust washer, which just drops right over top like that, and it keeps that shaft retained from moving up or down. So the spline stays engaged with the pump. So hopefully that's all it needs. Whoever took this apart didn't reassemble it properly and used some interesting stuff here. It might be RTV silicone glue that they use for gasketing, but I'll clean that all up and put her back together, and I bet you this thing will go another 100 years if I look after it. But oil was great in it. There's no wear, there's no filings, there's nothing got damaged. Well, I shouldn't say no filings. There's a little bit of a mess over here. A few bits and pieces, but that's probably because of this gear being out of place, or the shaft being out of place and rubbing on the wrong things. But it's nothing serious. Once we get that shaft back in center of the pump, and that's down in there, but you can kind of see that, right? That's where it engages. So if that's fully engaged, we're not going to have any issue there with the hydrostatic. And this could be a fun toy. So I may change the gear ratio by changing pulley sizes so that I can get some real speed out of this thing. I'm not sure if that works on the hydrostatics the same, but I would think it does. Just change the pulley speeds, and therefore you change the flow. Maybe. We shall see. I've never done it before, so I'm just learning.